Oh, yes, it is recording. Okay, so we're at number 13. Question number 13. This is what, section 5.2? Okay. So we're solving systems still, and it says 2x equals 12. This one will be, I think, a little bit easier. And I'm going to put these side by side. X minus 5y. And I still feel like, and I'm not going to name any names, but I feel like there's still a handful of students that right now they're copying down stuff and they're just waiting for answers and copying. Listen to the discussion. The discussion and how to work through these is more important than the answer, okay? And what I'm getting at is this. When we look at these, okay, which equation says just x equals or just y equals?
Neither.
Or do both of them or do neither of them?
Neither.
Neither one say just x equals or just y equals. But look at both equations, okay? What would be easier to solve for? Would it be easier to get x all by itself in one of these two, or y all by itself in one of these two? What are you
X.
saying?
The first one.
Yeah, no, he says get the first one, get x by itself. What do you have to do?
You just have to divide it like this.
Divide by 2. And I'm not saying he's wrong. That's exactly what I would do. But I'm just curious, is anybody looking over here and say, well, hang on a second. It wouldn't be that bad to solve for either x or y over here.
Yeah.
What would be easy to solve for, the x
Y.
or the y? I'm hearing both. I need reasons why you think x, why.
Because it's alone.
Right. How would I get x by itself? You got to do one thing to get x by itself.
Nothing.
Minus 5y.
It says minus 5y. So what? What she
Add
said.
5y.
Add 5y. You'd have to add 5y, okay? Now, Isaac said, though, over here, I think it's much easier just to divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Now, one more thing. Are we all done? We solved for x, are we all done?
No, you've
No.
got to put that in there.
Why? How come?
Well, you don't have both answers.
What do you mean
There's
both
two
answers?
Variables, so you need
There's
two
two
equations.
questions, so you need two answers.
We need what? What do we still need?
Why?
We need the y. We need the y, okay? We know what x is. We need the y value, okay? So, how are we going to find out what y is? We have a y right here. How are we going to find out
We
what it
gotta
is?
plug in 6 for x.
Good. Why didn't we just plug in 6 for x at the very, very beginning?
Because we didn't
We didn't know it. I mean, it took one step, but we didn't know it, okay? So, one more thing. True or false? I put the 6 in next to the x, but not next to the x, in place of. So, 6 minus 5y is negative 29. Now, good news, bad news. This goes back a few months, okay? And this is stuff you've got to know. Getting out of this class, you've got to know. You need a pencil or something?
Yeah.
Check my top drawer, okay? There should be one in there. In the middle drawer. Now, this is good practice. You have to like reach underneath my desk. It's okay. There's, yeah, right there. Just put your hand. There you go. It's there you go. Yep. So, when you look at these, I'm looking for specific responses here, okay? And I'm not saying the way I do it is the right way to do it, and that everybody else does it wrong. It's just I have certain ways of saying things here, okay? I say it over and over and over. So in order to be on the same page with everybody, you got to be able to answer these questions. Is y all by itself?
No.
What's with it?
The minus sign.
The minus sign, and what else?
And the 5.
The 5, anything else?
No.
6.
And the 6. I mean, let's get very basic here. What separates the sides? The equal sign. What side is y on?
Left.
The left. Is there anything else on the left?
Yes.
Yes.
6 and 5.
Minus 6.
Which do you get rid of first, the 6 or the 5?
Add
6.
The 6, because how come?
It's farther.
It's farther from what? The y. I mean, literally, the 5's sitting next to it, the 6 is way over here. How do you get rid of that 6? Some people think you plus 6. Why would they think plus?
Because it doesn't have.
But the minus is on the what?
Right side.
On the 5. So we minus 6, minus 6. These cancel, so what's over here? 5y?
5y.
Negative 5y. Negative 5y. What's negative 29?
Negative 35.
Minus 6 more is negative 35. Are we done?
We got to
Divide by
divide
negative
by 5.
Time out. Why aren't we done?
Why is that by itself?
Y is not by itself. So divide by what?
Negative 5.
You get 7.
What's 7?
Negative, because both.
No, it's 7 because.
Negative divided by negative is positive. So it's
Yeah,
positive.
because I got 7.
Yep. What's 7?
Y.
Y is 7. Now are we done?
No, so we got to put x first.
Okay. Yeah, we have to. What is the answer? 6, 7 or 7, 6?
6, 7.
True or false? It goes 6, 7 because we found 6 first.
No,
Because X and Y.
It goes X, Y like the alphabet. Now, if I graph these two lines, do these lines touch?
Yes, at 6, 7.
At 6, 7. They cross at the point close to 6, 7?
No.
Not close to 6, 7. Bullseye right at 6, 7. Okay? All right, let's look at number 15. Let's write 15 side by side again. So we have, where are we at? 5x plus 2y is 9. 5x plus 2y is 9. Now, something we have not talked about today, okay? We haven't said this yet today, but I want to make sure you guys understand this. Can you give me the solution to that problem?
No.
No. It's not because you're not smart. I'm not saying that, okay? Except for Mauer, okay?
There's one equation for two variables.
Right. If you have two variables, you need how many equations?
Two
Two.
equations.
There is not one right answer. There's an infinite number of answers that are correct, okay? So if you have two variables, you need two equations. So luckily, there's another equation that I haven't told you yet. X plus y equals -3. Now, Isaac already answered this a few minutes ago on the last problem, okay? This is a very simple but also very important answer, okay? Question and answer, okay? First off, which equation has x all by itself, like x equals, or y
The
equals?
second one.
The second one's,
Neither.
I mean, x all by itself equals something.
Neither.
Neither one. But it wouldn't be too hard to solve for either x or y in the first one or the second one. What do you guys think?
First one.
The second one, why?
Because both are right.
Yeah, what's with the x?
Oh,
5.
five.
What's with the
Two.
y? 2. What's with the x?
Nothing.
Nothing. What's with the y? Nothing. If you want to get x by itself, you can answer this in 2 words. How do you get x by itself?
Subtract.
Not
Yeah,
subtract x.
subtract y.
Subtract y. How do you get y by itself?
Subtract.
So, which is harder? Tomato, tomato. Doesn't matter, okay? So let's do this. Let's get x by itself. So minus y minus y. So what does it say x equals?
-3 minus y.
-3 minus y. Again, could I have subtracted x to each side?
Yeah.
Sure, but which is harder? They're the same. They're really the same, okay? So what do we not? We don't know it as a number, but we know something. Do we know what x is or we know what y is?
We know what x is.
What is x?
X is
Negative
-3
It says x is -3 minus y. So over here, this is what this whole section's about. Since we know that x is -3 minus y, I could rewrite this, but wherever I see an x, replace it with
-3 minus y.
-3 minus y. So I see 5. Oh, there's an x. What do I put there?
Parentheses.
Parentheses what?
-3
Minus y.
parentheses plus 2y equals 9.
What calculating did we just do?
None.
None. We simply plugged in what what y is, or what x is, okay? Is this a solvable answer, or a solvable question right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. How come?
Because there's only one here.
There's only one variable. Now, what's the answer? Somebody say it.
Well, we gotta do the word.
Yeah, so what's the answer? Say it. I don't know. I don't know what it is yet.
Uh,
I don't know, okay? That's why we gotta do our work. How are we gonna clean this up a little bit? What do we normally do if we have a number?
Distribute.
5 times -3 is -15.
Minus 5y.
Minus 5y. Do we times that by 5?
No.
Plus
Why?
2y
It's not in the parentheses.
equals 1.
Okay, it's a
Now
little
we
better.
Can't you put the variables together?
Yep. What's a -5 and a +2?
-3.
3 what? What else is over there?
Negative.
We've already answered this once today, okay? First off, what side is y on, the left or the right? The left. Is it by itself?
No.
No.
What's with it?
-3.
-3 and -15. Which one first?
-3.
Why?
Farther away.
From,
Y.
I mean, what's between the y and the -3?
Negative.
Nothing. What's between the y and the 15?
No, negative.
Negative sign. So that makes it literally makes it farther away. How do you get rid of -15? Okay, these cancel, so we have -3y equals, do what it says, 9 plus 15.
24.
Are we done with that?
Nope. 24 divided by -3.
Right.
-3.
Divide by -3. And 24 divided by -3, what's -8?
Y.
Y.
Any questions on how to do that problem? Okay. Let's do, let's look at number 16.
Wait, what are we doing? You forgot the other.
Very good. I was waiting for somebody to say that. We're not done. How come?
X
You just have to find
Solve
X.
for X.
Now, be careful. Some of you said, well, we know what X is. X is negative 3 minus
But now
Y.
you can plug in Y.
Yeah, but I want to know it as
By
an
the
actual
way,
number.
You gave it away when you said 16.
No, because that's actually the last one. I do want to do at least, we probably still are going to do 16 together. Okay, we probably will. Okay, yeah, now again, I want to make sure you understand. We kind of know what X is, but I want to know it as a number. I mean, it's kind of like saying, you want to know, your parents want to know, who's your math teacher? Well, my math teacher is the guy that's been teaching there 26 years. Okay, who's your math teacher? Well, he's the guy that lives just on. Who's the math teacher? They want to know who it is. It's Mr. Ko. They want to know an actual name, okay? So, I mean, yeah, X is this, but I want to know it's an actual number, okay? So how are we going to find out what that is?
Plug in Y.
Plug in what for Y?
Negative 8.
Okay, now be careful here. X equals negative 3 minus what? Minus 8. Minus 8. Plus plus. So what's a negative 3 and a positive 8? What is that?
Oh, never mind.
3-yard loss, 8-yard gain.
11.
Careful.
5.
Positive 5. Negative 3. And what's 5? Okay, so negative 8, 5. Okay, number 16.
That's wrong.
Very good. Who said that's wrong?
See?
What's wrong? Next time out. Do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
But what's the computer going to say? Eh.
You found the wrong equation.
It's not negative 5.
Oh, it's 5 negative 8.
5 negative 8. So here's the deal. This is what I don't like about the computer, okay? The computer is going to say, totally wrong. If you did this on a test,
You get half.
do you think I'd give you some partial credit?
Yeah.
I'd give you, if it was a 5-point question, I'd probably give you 4, okay? I really would, okay? But
I see
I can't give you full credit,
I see the look.
okay? Computer gives you no credit, okay? All right, shoot, this thing froze. How far did we get? That was number 15. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you guys.
That's 16.
Okay, we are going to do number 16. Yep. All right, last one I'm going to do with you guys. So we have 11x minus 7y equals negative 14. Now, we've said this several times today, and I know some of you are a little quieter than others, and that's okay, but you at least answer it in your head, okay? How do we solve that?
Yeah.
We can't. Why?
No, 2 equations.
Why?
There's 2 variables.
There's 2 variables,
So that you-
okay? Now, if I give you this right here, 2x minus 1 equals 7, can you solve that?
Yeah.
You better be able to solve that, okay?
It's
Because there's
actually
only one, no, it's 4,
Yeah.
okay? But that's solvable because there's only one variable. So we need one equation. This has 2 variables, we need 2 equations. Luckily, they give us another equation. X minus 2y is negative 4. Okay, which equation says x equals
None.
or y equals?
None.
Either one, but hopefully this one is pretty obvious. Which equation, the second for what, x or y?
X.
It'd
The
be easy to
second
s-
one.
The second one for x. What do you have to do to get x by itself?
Add 2Y.
Add 2y, okay?
X equals negative
X equals what?
negative
4 plus 2y.
Negative 4 plus 2y. Okay.
plus negative.
Again, I want to point out, is it wrong to solve for x here?
No.
No.
Here's what you could have done. Just watch. Do not write this down. How would I solve this for x? What would I do first?
Plus 7.
Plus 7y. Don't write this down. 11x equals negative 14 plus 7y. Then what do you have to do?
Divide by 11.
So it's 2 steps. That was 1 step. This is 2 steps. And what else do you now see?
It's odd even.
1 word. Come on, look at them.
Uneven.
There's gonna be 2.
11. I see a bunch of 11.
Fraction.
Fractions. You guys like fractions?
No.
Me neither. Okay? That's why it'd be a whole. Now, is it wrong to do it that way?
No.
No, but
Fraction.
it's more steps, plus there's fractions. So we don't want to do that, okay? So now what do we do?
Plug in X.
Plug in what for x?
Negative 4 plus 2Y.
Into this equation, okay? Plug in what x is. We know x is this. So over here, rewrite it. But when you get to the what?
X.
Plug in negative 4 plus 2y. So 11, oh, there's an x. So what do I put?
Negative 4 plus.
Before that,
Parentheses.
parentheses. Then what?
Negative 4 plus 2Y.
Then what? Careful.
Parentheses.
Parentheses, minus 7y equals what?
Negative 4.
Now again, is that solvable? Can we solve that now?
Yeah, there's
Yes.
only one-
Sure.
one-
What's the answer, Melania?
I don't know.
Me neither. I don't know it yet either. We can solve it. I don't know what it is, but we can solve
You
it.
gotta distribute the 11.
11 times 4 is negative 44. 11 times 2 is 22y. Do I times that by 11?
Definitely.
Minus 7y equals negative 14.
Okay, that's a little better. I still don't know what the answer is.
Put
Can I
the
clean-
22y and then second 7y together.
The what?
Negative 7y.
Negative 7y. What's 22 and negative 15y? What else?
Plus negative 4.
Plus negative.
Can I just make minus 44? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what?
44?
Why don't I get rid of this 15 first?
Because you can.
Because you'll still
It's
have
just easy.
negative 44.
It's not the way I say it.
You'll still
It's
have-
farther.
it's
This is farther. What makes this farther away?
negative sign.
The negative sign. Okay. So what are we, minus 44? Add 44.
And to the negative 14. That
Those
is
cancels.
30.
It's 30.
2. Y equals 2.
How'd you do that?
15 divided by 15.
I just divide by 15. What's 2?
Y equals 2.
Any question on that one?
Nope.
Okay.
We still gotta do X.
Very good. We're not done. So you stop on your test. You're gonna get the now. If you do this on the computer, it's wrong.
Yes.
You stop on the test. I mean, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
But you're not done. I'd probably give you 3 out of 5 on this because you're only halfway done. Because how come?
You have to plug in for y.
Have-
Solve
what-
those equations.
Solve.
Y.
X.
Correct. We know what y is.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
x is.
plug it
Okay.
in.
Now we can use either one of these. It doesn't matter which one. Not the
Second.
first.
The second
Why?
one, It's easier.
I think it looks easier. Whichever one. Now you might think this looks easier. I think you're wrong. But x is negative 4 plus 2y. What do we now know?
Y is 2.
So I plug it in next to the 2.
Yep, in parentheses.
No.
So not next to the 2, in place of the 2. So do we add or do we times next?
We got times, because 2 times 2.
So x equals negative 4 plus 4, which is,
equals 0.
and 0 is a number.
Not
And-
really.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. If you don't believe me, skip your next test. Seriously. If you get a 0 on the test, is that going to impact your grade?
Yeah.
It better. I hope it does. Seriously. I mean, dead serious. If you get a 0 on a test, I hope your grade plummets. Seriously. Because if your grade doesn't plummet, what does that tell you?
It's not a
You
number.
didn't do it.
You are.
No. If you get a 0 on your test and your grade doesn't go down very much,
Something wrong.
You gotta take the 5
You are a
right.
literal.
No.
Shows you that 0 is not a number.
let me give you an example.
I don't get where you're going with this.
Oh, you have a really
So you're
bad.
like-
You already have a bad score. If your grade doesn't drop very much after a 0, I had students on the last test, virtual kids, that had done nothing, and then they took their test. That's the first thing they did, and they got like 10%. You know what happened to their grade? It actually went up.
It went up by 1 grade.
Up a little
That's
bit.
what happened to my English grade right
Because
now.
what happened? What were they before? If they've done nothing, what's their grade before? 0. And then they get a 10%.
Yep.
Their grade actually went up. Now it's terrible, but it's actually went up. You know, that's just so seriously. If you get a 0, I hope your grade. If your grade doesn't plummet, that means your grade stunk already. Okay, it should drop a lot. So, 2-0, right?
No.
Wait, are you
Well,
talking
X
Zero,
and
two.
Y, so 0, 2.
Very good. 0-2. All right. So you're gonna have today and tomorrow to work on these. Okay.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
All right. Let's get at it.
Laptop don't work.
Yeah. Look off somebody else's maybe.
Hey, that needs your help.
But can I get out of my phone?
Yeah, you can. Through Google.
What's that?
Can we get something to drink?
I want you to get at least a couple problems done
I
first.
can't go get something to drink.
What's that?
I can't go get something to drink.
Yeah, I'd like to get a couple problems done first. Then. No.
No, it wasn't. Therefore, I have this class. My favorite. It's not that. 4.2.
How many passes can we get for next?
It's supposed to be what 3 or 4. I'm not really keeping track, but as long as you don't abuse it, I'll.
Well, I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.